Hey, Mom. Yeah. No, Mom, I'm a little busy. No, I'm about to start my show. No, my TV show. Cooking with Charles. No, I told you about this. Yeah, it's on TV. Goffstown Public Access. No, not PBS. Public Access. It's different. Yes, Mom, it's a cooking show. I told you about this. No. Yes. No. No, it's my cooking show. It used to be called Let's Get Cooking, but we changed the name of Cooking with Charles a few episodes ago. Yes, that's it. No. I don't know the guy that goes bam. No, his name's Emerald. Yeah, Rachel Ray is cute. No, she's not on this channel either. No, Mom, Brenda, I gotta go. I gotta do my show. Okay, I know. You can see the grandkids next weekend. Okay, come on down Sunday for dinner. Okay, gotta go. I love you. Oh, hi folks. Sorry about that. Little call from Mom. As you probably heard, this is a show called Cooking with Charles, and I'm your host, Charles. So, welcome. As always, we have a libation. Today's libation is Barefoot Chardonnay, although I am cooking with shoes on. It's a nice dry Chardonnay, rather inexpensive. Goes great with everything, especially summertime fun. So for fun tonight, we're going to cook a Jacques Pepin inspired pork dish, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take some pork with a pomegranate deglazing, and we're going to finish that with a little bit of duck. So first things first, though, we got some nice asparagus here. You've probably seen me do some asparagus before. It's nice and thick on the ends, but we don't want that. We're going to just cut these ends off so that we can blanch them. So we'll just take a few inches off the end right there, and we'll put them in the pan right over here. Now, folks, these ends, you don't really want to eat these because they're a little fibrous unless you boil the bejesus out of them and grind them up and puree them. What I would recommend you do, if you have the space in your freezer, freeze them. The next time you make a vegetable stock or a chicken stock, throw this in. It'll add a nice depth of flavor to it. But for our purposes tonight, because this is GTV Studios and this is not my kitchen, I'm gonna just toss them out. So let me just turn this on over here, and we'll get these blanching. Need a little bit more water. Look at that, magic water from below the counter. All right, so first things first, we're gonna do pork tonight with a rendered duck fat. So first we need to get the duck fat. Got a nice little portion of duck breast here, folks. Now you can buy frozen duck in the supermarket, and you'll pay about $3 a pound for the whole duck. However, I did not need all that, so I bought just a duck breast serving. Unfortunately, it's a little expensive. It ends up being about $9 a pound to $10 a pound, depending on where you buy it like this, but it's prepared for you. And you're getting these nice flavors that you otherwise would not have unless you own a duck farm. So, I just want the skin off of this one for now. And this is going to be first things first. There we go. Put that duck right over there. We got these nice pieces of skin. What we're going to do is we're going to just take these, going to cut these down. Make sure your knife is really sharp too, because this is really tough to cut. And my knife is blazing sharp, although not blazing sharp enough. So here's our duck skin. We're going to toss it right in that pan. And we're going to rinse our hands for a second. Now, guys, you probably noticed I have a new pan. Huh? Awesome stuff. Remember last show, I said I needed a deeper pan and a bigger pan so it doesn't splatter as much? Well, guess what? Look at this puppy, huh? Woohoo! If you want to cook like Charles, the pan like this, get yourself down at Ocean State Job Lots and hook it. These are actually on sale at a low price of 40 bucks. And they are not a paid sponsor, unfortunately, because then I would have gotten it for free. But it's actually a really, really good price for a pan this size. It is stainless steel, in and out, with an aluminum core. It's perfect for cooking just about everything. It's going to be in my new all-purpose pan. Enough said about that. Well, looks like I didn't clean off enough last time I cooked. Like a little bit of smoke coming from that burner. But we're going to let that sit. And since we're on the duck, let's take care of our duck. We're going to do a canard du confit, which is just a diced duck. So we're just going to cut this up really small because we're going to saute this later. And as I said earlier, this is a Jacques Pepin inspired menu. For those of you who know, he's one of those old-time, world-famous chefs credited with discovering people like Julia Childs. He's had a show on for as long as I can remember. And what I like about him is he's not a very hoity-toity French chef. He just cooks decent French food. He doesn't cover it in heavy sauces, although he sauces everything. And he shows you how to do it at home, on a budget, with lots of times with stuff you have right in your own kitchen. And that really, really works into what we do here at Cooking with Charles. At home, on a budget, done. I'll put that right over there. Now, I would recommend, folks, when you're cooking or cutting meat like this, try and cut it when it's a little bit frozen. It makes it much, much easier. As you can see, I'm going back and forth. It's because it's tough to cut when it's moving around like it is. This is going nicely right over here. What we're going to do is add a little bit of salt to this. Not so much for flavor, but to dry out the moisture. With that moisture is going to come the fat. Now, our pork. Look at this bad boy, huh? You buy this for about $3 a pound. It's pretty much done for you. Not a lot of prep you have to do. You may want to take some of the silver skin stuff here and slice it off. But for the most part, it's done. Now, you take the ends like this. We don't want these. So, where's the camera? Okay. We don't want the ends, because they're not going to sit well in our pan. So what do we do with these? Well, we're going to put those to the side, and we're going to throw those in our freezer for later, and we can use those in another dish. And we're going to cut these about 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. All right. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Yeah, you want to go about a medium to medium low with the duck skin. That way it just cooks a little bit slower, it doesn't burn in the pan. All right, our medallions, which is a fancy way of saying pork loin sliced up a little bit. Going to take those, put those right like that. Just going to salt and pepper one side. That's all you need to do, because we're going to salt and pepper the other side when those go in the pan. Voila. Let's see how this is working. Ah, this is working very nicely over here. All right. Let me get some of that duck fat rendered off of there. A little bit of olive oil in there. It's going to mix in with that duck fat. Let that come up to temperature. In the meantime, though, we are going to take out these pieces of the duck skin that we had in there. We don't want the moisture in there to splatter with the olive oil. There we go. Checking the asparagus, just give it a nice turn. We're going to turn this down so it's not too soggy when we come back to it. All right, folks, we're going to start our pork. Now we're going to take the salted and peppered side, and we're just going to place that side down. Voila. And then we're just going to pepper the other side. And we're going to salt the other side. All right, let that sit for a few minutes where we flip them. Probably about 1.5 to 2 minutes per side, depending on how thick you cut it and how hot your stove is. Now, if you folks don't have a grinder of sea salt like I have here, use regular table salt, although I at least recommend getting kosher salt and just sprinkle it on. But you know, I'm a professional, so I get little professional toys, so to speak. So what's next? Well, while that's cooking, let's get our sauce ready. Let's flip over our cutting board so it looks good for broadcasting. We're going to take some grapes. Very simple. Just cut these in half, however many grapes you want. And folks, we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Charles Minnick, host of GTV's smash hit, Cooking with Charles. I've teamed up with the Goffstown Network to tell you about their outreach and food pantry programs. The mission of the Goffstown Network is to provide for the hunger-related needs of our neighbors in Goffstown and their surrounding communities. Founded with the governing principles that no person should go hungry and every person deserves our care. The Goffstown Network serves the area by providing food and other services on an emergency short-term basis. This spirit of community and mutual caring is extended to anyone in Goffstown, Dunbarton, and New Boston. Normal hours of operation are Wednesday evenings, 6 to 8 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon. Now, you can also assist them through donations of time, food, or money. Like the help they give, the help they receive is also greatly appreciated. You can reach them by calling the number on your screen or by stopping by the parish house of St. Matthew's Church. It's located in downtown Goffstown at 7 North Mass Street, right across from Sully's. We could not do this show without the help of our friends at Sully's Superette. Since 1987, Sully's has provided the area with the best meats around. Here at Cooking with Charles, we not only count on them for their kind donations of meat, but John and the gang at Sully's also provide us with the best produce, deli items, and libations that make Cooking with Charles the huge success it is. From all of us at Cooking with Charles, thank you. Okay, folks, we're back. That was a quick break. We had some technical difficulties, so it gives me time to practice my one-handed juggling with cherry tomatoes. So let's see where we're at. We've got the asparagus turned off. We don't want to cook that English style, which means boil the bejesus out of it. We got these pork medallions cooking ever so nicely. Now, we're now going to add some duck. That duck that we diced up earlier. Put that in there, move it all around. Life is good in this pan. And as always, guys, if you had smell-o-vision, you'd say, I want smell-o-vision THX Dolby, because this smells divine. All right, that's got about another minute to go. Now, while that's working, guys, I'm gonna come over here, dice up, or not dice up, but just take my cherry tomatoes, just cut these in half. They'll cook easier. While I'm doing this, I want to remind you about an episode we had a few weeks ago where I called Marcella wine hobo wine, and I told you I was going to try some Marcella wine. our resident cameraman Andrew let me know that, you know, Marsala wine is a great wine. It's up there with Tawny Port. Well, here's what I found out. Tawny Port is a porn star's name, and any self-respecting hobo will not drink Marsala wine. No, 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 no. They will drink the Boone's Farm and the Mad Dog 2020. So to all you hobos out there, I am really sorry I insulted your taste, and I will lift a glass of Boone's Farm for you later on. But I'll still cook with the Marsala. And let's look out for Tawny Port on those channels we're not supposed to watch. Anyway, folks, let's go back over here. This pork right here is almost done. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take it. We're going to just take it out of the heat for now, because we don't want to overcook it. Yeah, look at that. That is wonderful looking stuff. We've got the duck in there nicely. And we're getting just about ready to work our magic with our sauce. And how do we do that? Well, first things first, pomegranate juice. Now, if you want, we're going to deglaze the pan, which, as you know, because you're students of the show, it means that we're going to put this in there to take all the brown, chunky stuff off the bottom of the pan. Not to make it easier to clean the pan, but to make it taste better. That's a lot of flavor crystals, so to speak, in there. So when we do that, sometimes you use wine. Tonight, use pomegranate juice. Now, if you want, you could also use apple juice or apple cider, orange juice, anything you want. This is a light summer fruity meal. Oh, look at that. Pan was not quite hot enough, but we'll get a little hot there. We're going to reduce this. Anyway, so there's that. Now, pomegranate, as you know, some say was the apple that Eve picked, because apples originated in Asia. The pomegranate was a Mideastern, Mediterranean kind of fruit, and that's what they say Eve really picked from the tree. So, you're not only cooking with good looking on Cooking with Charles, you're cooking with God. And depending on how you look at it, this is heavenly or this is sinful. Either way, it's delightful. So, keep that in mind the next time you tune in. All right, what am I cutting up now, folks? Well, I've got some dried figs. Gonna cut the ends off, though, because those are a little stemmy. And the dried figs, just gonna give it a little more fruity flavor. As I said, it's a summertime light dish. You can even grill this dish too. You don't have to cook it in the pan. We just don't have a grill here. So that's why we're doing it this way. Gonna put those right in there. What else do we have? Dried cranberries. Now you could use dried cherries, dried any kind of fruit you want, but dried blueberries. But these are just what I had on hand. Gonna do just a handful in there. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, we're gonna reduce this all the way down. That looks great. All right, next up, we have, oh, I almost forgot something, folks. We have onions. Okay, there goes our tomatoes and our grapes. All right, quickly, guys, look at this. I just get so worked up that I forgot about these onions. So I'm just gonna dice these white onions really quickly. Voila. A few more right here. Voila. Not too many onions, just enough to take the sweetness edge off. It's still going to be a very sweet dish because we've got pomegranate juice. We have the tomatoes, we have the grapes. And that's just going to take the edge off. And another little great ingredient is we have some really nice French Dijon mustard. Not your Grey Poupon. This is actually just a little step above. Give it a good heaping teaspoon. And that's it. Mix it all together. Now, if you want, I always say make it your own, which is what I did with this dish. I add some things that the great Jacques Pepin did not add to it. Like the duck. That's all me. And the Dijon. But make it however you want. This is a basic recipe for it. As I said, change out the juice, add garlic, add yellow mustard. Yellow mustard does not get its due, I feel. All right, so I'm just thinking, do I miss anything? Nope. Got a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Gonna add that in there. We got about a quarter cup. No reason except that I like cheese. That's it. Oop, get it out of there. Now, I did have this, but I never used it because my pan is bigger today. It's taller inside, not splattering as much. But my last show, I said, get a splatter guard. Because as you are pan searing things, you put that right on top. You can't see what's going on, but you'll know what's going on because you're standing here cooking. And yep, let's keep that shut there, dude in the control booth, Dave. And you just lift it up like that. You turn something, you put it back down, minimize the grease. And this is very easy to clean. All right, that is right where we want it, I think. Gonna take these. Look at that. Look at that. I am a machine. But yeah, this stuff looks good. Turn these so every little bit of this gets in the sauce. Yeah, last week I asked Dave what he wanted. And as you know, he's the guy in the control booth who makes me look good. And he said duck. So I had this Jacques Pepin menu in mind. And I figured I can add duck to this and give it another depth of flavor. All right, that's just about done. Let's see about these bad boys. Another second, just heat those up a little bit. Still crispy, but they're not as soft as I would like them. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to witness culinary greatness once again. Brought to you by yours truly, Charles Minnick, and Goffstown Public Access Television. To that, we will toast. All right, here we go, guys. Here is the love. Now, I did not make a starch with this because what I'm going for is a lighter summer fare. And, well, starch, it's heavy, that's wintry. You could, if you want rice with this, make some rice. If you want potato, make potato. You know what? I will get a grill pan for next week, I think, and I'll show you how to make a nice grilled potato. That would go great with this dish. So, there we go with this. And voila, we have that. But that's not all. It's so quiet in here. You can hear a pin drop. But you know what? We are all waiting with a bated breath because we know this is going to be great. It's going to be super. Here we have it, folks. Let's get a nice close shot of this. See that? Oh, sauce is a little runny, but we can tell that is beautiful. Look at the colors in that. That screams summertime. Where's my fork? Oh, I should turn this off. Let's just see how we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is spectacular. That is an explosion of flavors in your mouth right now. You've got the sweet, you've got the sour, you got a touch of the salt and the pepper. It's got everything your tongue wants, except the Chardonnay to wash it down. A nice dry wine is going to go very nicely with this because that's a very sweet dish and very sour, a little bit of sour in there. And it's going to be offset very nicely with a Chardonnay, even a Shiraz or a good Zinfandel. So folks, till next week, when you're cooking with Charles, you're cooking with good looking. I love that tagline. I think I'm going to keep it. So anyway, guys, enjoy. As always, email me, cookingwithcharles@gmail.com. View this episode and the past episodes at Cooking with Charles M on YouTube. All right. We'll see you next week, guys.